graced your playlist this week?
Well, the first game I wanted to tell you guys about, it just came out, actually. It's been in early access for a little bit, but the full release just dropped this past weekend, I believe. It's called Pinball Spire from developer Apparition Games. Christian, I know
Yes.
you're a big pinball fanatic like me, right? So,
And I'm a big Spire fanatic. I love
know, it feels like
Spires.
this was made for our show, Jeff. It's
I
pinball
slay
meets
them.
Rogue.
Yeah.
You play pinball, I slay Spires.
So it is pretty much exactly what you're describing. The story, it doesn't make any sense. It has just like a few sentences on the screen that says, "There's a tower. You need to get to the top of it." That's pretty much the entire story. But it is very pixelated, very pinball friendly. If you are familiar with pinball tables, you're going to feel right at home here. But the thing that makes this game really great to me is that the developers here really understand what people like me appreciate about pinball. It's not always just about the score. A lot of the times I like to play pinball tables is the discovery. It's learning how that table works, learning the mechanics and which things you need to hit in what order to make things happen. And that's exactly what that's all you're doing in this game. There's no scoring. It is just figure out what you need to do to unlock the little hatch at the top of the screen so that you can shoot up and get to the next little puzzly kind of thing that you have to do. And they give you some tools to make that a little bit easier for you. So you kind of acquire these powers. One is the ability to slow down time. And when you slow down time, it also gives you a little guide arrow to where the ball is going to go when you actually hit the flipper. There's actually an achievement to play the entire game without using that once, which is interesting. Then you get the ability to turn into a fireball, which you use to light these torches. And there's another one that basically propels you forward at a high velocity, whichever direction you're facing. And those sound pretty simple, but the way that these levels are designed are just incredibly clever. For example, this one was actually in the demo, but there's a board that you come to that is almost completely dark. You can't see the board except for just these little glimpses of light off in the distance. And right above the flippers are the words the letters LIGHT. And what you were learning is that you have the fire ability, which lights up just that small portion around the ball. And so you have to strategically time when you're going to do that so you can see just a little bit of the map. And then when you get the ball back to your flipper, you know that that's where I need to hit to. And then I have to light these torches. And once I do all 5 of them, all of a sudden the room brightens up. And that's just one small example of just the really clever, ingenious things that they're doing. And the game doesn't really outright explain it to you what you're supposed to do. But at the same token, it also has a little bit of a hint system built into it, where at any time you can click the left stick button. I'm playing on Steam Deck, and then the screen freezes, and then a little cursor appears on there. I'm assuming if you're playing with a mouse and keyboard, you can just kind of hover over it. But you move this cursor over different things on the screen, and it will explain to you what that is. So, like, oh, you need to light this up in order to progress, or this gear needs to be moved to cycle these things in order to open up this thing that you can hit and go to the next. I don't know. It's just really, really fun. I felt very much at home as a pinball fanatic. It's very bite-sized. I literally played through the entire game in one sitting. It took me like 3-4 hours to complete it. And I just really, really enjoyed it. And Christian, I hope you check it out. Did you guys get a chance to see the trailer?
I have, yeah. And it's been one of those games I had the demo downloaded and then just never got to it. Just because my life's a mess. But I love it. And I loved Yoku's Island Express. I've loved, seeing more pinball mechanics brought into other types of games, and this seems right up my alley for sure.
It definitely left me.
You don't want it to just go right up the alley. You want it to go kind of into the gutter sometimes, and then up to the spinny part.
It's just the game feels good. It does the Sonic Spinball thing, where there are these constant like tubes that you're going through. It makes it feel like it's going really fast, and you're collecting gems that you have to unlock, and it just feels good. And even though it's a really short game, it left me wanting more in a good way. Like I wasn't burnt out by the end of the game. It quit while it was ahead. And I would love to see another game from this developer because I just think it's something pretty special. So,
again, that's called Pinball Spire. Another example of just a thing that I inherently always like, which is, hey, this game, but mixed with this other wildly disparate mechanic. I love the fusion in the indie space that's happening right now. It's just so delightful to see. Like, what if Slay the Spire and Pinball had a baby? Let's make that game. And then somebody does, and it actually works. It's cool.
It is really cool.